Lovely day today. Morning, guys. So today I'm gonna, I need to go out and do a few errands. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the Twizy. So the plan is, I'm gonna go to Bishop Stortford, which is like the local town to me. So what I wanna do is I wanna take the car down to Bishop Stortford and then put it on charge on one of these points. So this one's looking like probably the most promising one. Is it this one? Yeah, Bishop Stortford train station. So I'm gonna attempt to go down there, stick the car on charge and then just walk into the town and go about my stuff. So real life tests. Not that I really need to charge it, but I'll probably get there and I'll probably have like 85% or 80% or something like that. So yeah, why not just add 20% on? Now, because my electrician's not gonna be around until after Christmas, I wanted him to put a point to charge the car from, like probably like around here somewhere, so it's like, you know, level with the car, probably not near the tap. Because I'm using this extension lead, and this extension lead isn't waterproof. So today what I want to do is I want to try and grab a waterproof one as well, just to sort of tide me over. I think this is a 20-metre one, so I just stuck the heated windshield on. So this stopped at 94% today, which is a bit strange, so I have to see what happens there. Heated seat pads on. I'll stick my other gloves in here just in case. I'm in the slipstream. Right, I'm at home base, need to get my lead. My bum's nice and warm anyway. Electrical section, where's the electrical section? Ah, I think I can see it. This is the one. It's got the waterproof things on it. Well, there's another one there. That's only 15 metres, this one's 20 metres. It's a bit of a contraption, but it's a bit annoying. The first thing I noticed that the cable is pretty thin. It's not as thick as the other one I've got. And this is only a 10 amp rated one. I thought it said 13 amps on the website. That's going to be no good. What I might have to do is get one of these and then just like splice it onto the end. It's a bit of a rip off, this thing, but another way of doing it. That plug is starting to not work. It's starting to, I think moisture's got into it, because when you push the plug, and the last thing I want is for it to do something, you know, mess up the charger inside the car. Brilliant. Thanks very much. Merry Christmas. See ya. Alright, next stop. Alright guys, so I've arrived at the charging point and it looks like it doubles as a disabled spot, which is really flipping useful, that is, isn't it? So this starts to get a bit stupid. They've got disabled, so that's fair enough. They've got disabled, fair enough. And they've got disabled, fair enough. So that's really, really annoying. Alright, let's see if I can. No, that's not long enough. It's not long enough. Won't be charging here then. Now realistically, I don't need to charge, but if I did, what are you supposed to do? It's a bit stupid having disabled and electric car points in exactly the same place. I mean, what's all that about? Because if I'm parked there and then someone disabled wants to park there, they're going to be thinking, why is that non-disabled car park in there? Right, so I've just come to another charging point, which is at kind of like a Nissan garage, but I think it's like a public one. But it looks like both of them are in use, so let's have a look. There is a space free, but there's no car parking space free, so that is a problem as well. See, this one's charging that car, that Leaf, and then this one. Right, so the very nice lady in there said, yeah, I'll just get someone to move out of the way, but she said it's not a fast charger, which obviously I can't fast charge anyway on that car. But if But that's good anyway, that's good of him to move that. Another leaf's arrived. Probably squeezing that gap. So he's taking that car out, but another leaf's just turned up as well. So they're just moving, shuffling the cars around. Hopefully I'll be able to get in there. So next problem, this lead is stuck in here and it doesn't go anywhere, it just goes to this empty lead. I need that socket. So I've just asked them if they can remove that lead. Scans my card okay, but it won't let that lead out because I think the card that has obviously been used to start that charge, even though there's nothing plugged into it, has to be done to stop the charge as well. Right, I've left the car there, it's not plugged into the charger. Apparently their sales manager is the one that's got the key card for the other charge point, so there's not really much I can do. And the sales manager's out on a thing, so I don't know, on a test drive or something. So I just said to him you could plug it in, like if he comes back, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Right, got a few bits. Time to go and get the car. I'm just wondering if, sorry, I'm just wondering if they managed to get it on charge. Doesn't really matter if they haven't, but because so far charging this car's actually been a bit of a pain. So if you're relying on charging points, you're going to end up in the situation where like you could run out of power, which is really not good. So like the theory of having just enough power in your battery to actually get where you want to get is not really going to work unless you could sort of charge, you know, in different places, like nick main sockets from places, but generally, yeah, it's a bit tricky. Right guys, I'm back now, just giving it a little clean. Looks pretty sharp now. The funny thing about this car as well is it never really looks dirty. It's like not enough of it to actually kind of look dirty. Normally you'd get like kind of spray up the side or things like that. I mean, you do a little bit, but it just never looks dirty. So these are the side lights that I've got in it at the moment. You can see they're pretty bright, they almost look like headlights. They're just Philips 501 bulbs. I thought I'd go for the branded ones because they probably will last longer. They're probably not as bright as some of the ones you find on eBay, but they should last. The only thing I've noticed is the top caps have started coming off. I've got two more to stick in the number plate lights, and the top caps have come off of those. I was just fiddling around with them, they just fell off. So they're not very secure, so I might glue them on and then it might be a bit better. But they complement the other lights pretty well. Let's see if I can turn on the... So here's the main lights. Pretty damn bright. I still think the beam pattern's off. It's a little bit high, but we'll still have to, we'll just have to play around with that, as I was saying yesterday. So something funny happened earlier when I was coming back in the car. I got pulled over at the roadblock. They've got like a roadblock near the airport. The police are basically there. They've been there a lot recently, actually. I think it's just something to do with Christmas and holiday thing. Anyway, they were all there, and they basically pulled me over, just flagged me down. And the copper was just like, "Right, mate, yeah, I just wanted to have a look." And I told him it was electric and everything. And then all of his buddies come over, and there was about 4 or 5 of them. And bear in mind, there was probably, I don't know, there was probably like 30 cars behind me just waiting to go through this roadblock. So it was starting to cause a bit of a backup of traffic up there. And he just stopped just chatting to me about the car. And in the end, he just said, "Oh, how fast does it go?" And we were just like talking about it. And he goes, and then they're all going, "Right, yeah, go on, boot it." So yeah, I basically got told to boot my car by the police. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how impressive it actually looks when you accelerate quite quickly, because it's quite small. I think it looks like it's, you know, moving quite fast, but it obviously doesn't make any sound. So anyway, it's time to just have a look at this thing, which I got earlier from the shop. And what I want to do is I want to basically modify my extension lead so that I can use this. How effective this is going to be, but it seems pretty good. I've tested the plug from the Twizy in it, and it fits in there, and it closes as well. It actually closes fine. So despite the cable on the Twizy being quite fat, it works. So just need to whip the back off there, and then I'm just going to savage my extension lead and yeah, hopefully we'll have a charging solution for outside. There you go. Let's give it a go then. Right guys, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that'll do for now. As I say, when I get the electrician rounds next year, it's going to be now because it's just so busy, I'll get him to put in a proper point. Probably connect it up to like a 32 amp feed as well, so that, you know, with some nice beefy armour cable, just so that, you know, there's no voltage drop, and it should make it charge a little bit quicker as well. So yeah, all good. But yeah, interesting sort of stuff today. I mean, some of those charging points are in funny old locations, and you know, back to the thing I was saying earlier, if you're relying on charging points, like if you've got a small battery, like the battery in the Twizy isn't that large in capacity really, it's only like a 6.1 kilowatt hour battery, so if you're relying on that, so you're travelling maybe like 30 miles and then you want to charge it to make sure you can get back, I mean realistically, if you were going on an eco run, you probably could set the power box to eco and do that journey in one charge. Maybe, I don't know. I need to see how far I can actually really get realistically, real world. But yeah, if you're going to be relying on charging points, I think you're going to struggle because it's just too hit and miss. You know, there's problems with petrol cars, petrol diesel cars, ICE cars, as like, you know, the EV community call them, basically in those points. And like I found obviously earlier on, there's like disabled spots with charge points. I mean, what's all that about? It's just almost like better than nothing, but really should have their own spaces. There's obviously that's something to do with the council, that's got to be. So yeah, you're going to struggle, but I'll keep messing around. So far this Polar, who operate those charging stations, have been fairly reliable. Like the actual points themselves, after the niggle I had at the beginning at the train station, the local train station, where the charge point wasn't working, you know, I think that's probably just something that happens now and again. But they did fix it when they said they were going to fix it. So yeah, like I was saying, the real solution is to have a bigger battery. I don't quite know how to do that yet. I have been talking to someone about this. The guy that made the power box has done this all before, so I'm gonna have more conversations with him about this. But theoretically, if you could just make your own battery, it'd be a lot better. Then you could have the capacity you want, providing it all fits in the actual compartment. Ultimately, it'd be great to have, you know, 100 kilometers or, you know, 100-mile range on this car. You're going to struggle with charging that up quickly, but then, you know, you could just leave it on charge overnight. It's, you know, I've got no problem with doing that. The only things to consider are the BMS needs to be functioning in the car. So the BMS talks to the ECU and everything else in the car by the CAN bus, as I mentioned before. So you would need to program a BMS, and there is a BMS called an Orion BMS which has CAN bus features and everything else, and the software is all open source for the Twizy, so you know it shouldn't be too hard to do it. But I'll have to pull in some special skills from multiple places to do that. But yeah, it's all interesting stuff. At least now I've got a bit more of a reliable charging system at home for the time being. And that extension lead I could actually take with me when I go and charge, just in case there is a bay that's occupied by another car, and then you could almost like, you know, route the wire around. That's a good point actually. I might make another extension lead up, slightly shorter, maybe like 10 metres, with my Wilco cable that I bought the other day, and yeah, and then I can just take that with me, or just keep it in the car just for, like, you know, emergencies when I need to charge in a bay that I can't actually physically put the car in because there's another car in there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked it, like the video as well, all that sort of stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.